Welcome back, everybody. This is a double header day for Goosebump Moment Presents. This afternoon, I want you to meet a very charming, very lovely lady I've actually only had the pleasure of knowing for a week or two, and not very long at all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daisy Taylor. Daisy is a hypnotherapist and an NLP practitioner. And we're going to talk about both of those today. So welcome, Daisy. Glad to have you.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, listen to that accent. Tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Cornwall in the UK, and my business is based in central Cornwall. But recently I've been starting to see online clients as well, so I can kind of spread my reach further and see and help more people, treat more people with their whatever it is that they want to come and see me about.
Well, let's talk about that. In a conversation you and I had previously, hypnotherapy has changed, hasn't it? It's not the old what do I call it, the stage show act where you're stopping smoking or you're putting people embarrassing positions under hypnosis and stuff. It's now become legit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The kind of stigma with the stage style hypnosis where people put in embarrassing positions, as you say, is quite damaging, I think, it's an incredible tool, using the power of suggestion and the power of the subconscious mind to help you remove blockages and achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And it's not all about quitting smoking or losing weight, which I think it's kind of been attached to as well.
Yep.
It's about it can be about so many things. I personally specialize in anxiety. I like working with people's confidence, helping them to build their confidence. But there's a huge range of things that other hypnotherapists are helping people with also, from chronic pain to public speaking, all these and everything in between. It's amazing.
Yeah, and again, it's an underutilized tool because I think some people are embarrassed about it because of the old stigma that it did have attached to it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so tell me, you kind of briefly touched on that. So tell me a little bit more about hypnotherapy. Why did you get involved in it?
Well, I actually had some family members that were having hypnotherapy, and they felt such a huge kind of shift from it and felt so much better about some past trauma and things like that it just, and I was doing kind of an admin job because it fit in with family life. And I just felt like I really wanted to help people and I wanted to do something more rewarding and, make a bit of a difference. And it just seemed like a logical route to go. And as soon as I started the training, I absolutely fell in love. I mean, this stuff is amazing.
Well, let's talk about the training. I mean, there might be somebody out there who would like to become a hypnotherapist. So what kind of training is involved? What is it that you have to do to prepare to become certified, right? You're certified.
Yeah, that's right. I've got a diploma. I'm actually studying. I'm doing another course at the moment, which is an online course, because it's just, the resources out there are endless, and there's all these different hypnotists doing things in different ways, and you could go on learning it forever, I think. But I did about a year course, like a face-to-face one. And while you're training, you see clients at the same time, so you're getting hands-on, experience.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you're also receiving kind of treatment yourself in a way. So you're working through things. I mean, I went into it thinking I didn't really have anything that I needed to deal with, and came out like a totally different person. It was amazing. But I think if anybody is sort of considering it as a career, it's incredible. And the feeling that you can get when you really do help someone. And a lot of the time, often, particularly with things like anxiety, people will come in for that first session and they'll be all tense and nervous. And they'll say, you say, what is it that you really want to achieve? And they'll say, well, I know I'll never be free of anxiety. And that's something I hear a lot. I know I'll never be free of it, but I'd just like to learn to live with it a little bit. But so when you after 6 sessions, 4 to 6 sessions, and they're not feeling those anxious feelings anymore, it's incredible, and they're shocked and can't believe it, and it's just such a good feeling.
So on average, because I know it's probably based on each client, but on average, how long does a session take? This isn't a month, a long drawn out process, is it?
No, it's not. It's really rapid, the changes that you can make. I usually say to people, do a minimum of 4 to 6, depending on what the issue is that they want to talk to me about. Do a minimum of 4 to 6, and on that last session, we'll see where you are. If you feel like you want to continue, I'm not just going to drop you, but at the same time, you may feel like you don't need any more. And often that is the case. I've had somebody before that came in with social anxiety, and after 3 sessions, he came back for his 4th, and he said, I don't feel like let's just do some relaxation. I don't feel like I need, it's done. I feel much better about things, which was probably the quickest success rate I've had. But I mean, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Usually a session is, the first one's a bit longer because you do the consultation. So it's usually, hour and a half to 2 hours. And then after that, it's usually about an hour a week for 6 weeks.
So it's not time consuming whatsoever, is it?
No, not at all.
And what a compliment when you can get a client to say, I don't need it anymore. I feel so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's worth its weight in gold right there. So you kind of touched on this a little bit, but what particular kind of clients are you really looking to work with?
I mean, obviously, I specialize in anxiety, which can affect people of all ages, from all walks of life. It really is quite an issue at the moment, people suffering with anxiety. My clients tend to go in waves. So at one point it was all men that I was seeing, and then it kind of was all older women, and now I seem to have a lot of teenagers that I deal with. But like I say, there's no kind of profile that anxiety is particularly people that are prone to anxiety. It just is across the board, particularly since the pandemic and everything like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are suffering from anxiety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about the NLP side.
Okay.
I know a lot of people know about NLP. They've heard it, but tell everybody a little about what it is, and does it enhance hypnotherapy?
Yeah, I mean, the two kind of go hand in hand, I feel. I use a lot of NLP techniques. I usually use them under hypnosis. And what it stands for is neuro-linguistic programming. And it's about kind of rearranging your thoughts. And the techniques are really powerful under hypnosis. But then also, if you have somebody who is a bit nervous about the hypnosis side of things to start with, and is a bit unsure, then they work brilliantly as standalone techniques. Things like anchoring, where you can, use a physical action to promote an emotional response. So you can have a calming anchor or a confidence anchor, and it can give you a boost or, calm you down. There's all these different things that you can use, and they're tools that people can then take out of the session and continue to use. I mean, there's loads of different techniques, and like I say, I use most of them under hypnosis, but it really is an amazing modality for people, whether they are under hypnosis or not. It's still very effective.
Well, I have a question. Can everybody be hypnotized?
Yes, they can. There's this kind of idea of what hypnosis is. And you do sometimes get a client that will say, well, I don't think I was hypnotized. But then if you ask them, have you ever been hypnotized before? They'll say, well, no. but then how do you know that you weren't hypnotized? You know, because
Yes.
it will feel different for different people, but all it is an altered state. So it's bypassing that critical faculty, that conscious mind. It's just bypassing that. So you can use heightened emotion to do that. You can use relaxation, which a lot of hypnotists use. You know, there's all different ways that you can be hypnotized. I mean, advertising uses hypnotic techniques and hypnotic language, and politicians as well use a lot of hypnotic language. So anything, you know, anyone can be hypnotized. It's just maybe about finding the right route for that person.
I was a former police officer, and I remember we didn't use hypnosis very often, but we had a hypnotherapist come in on one particularly very nasty case. And it was amazing to watch the process and the technique and the response, and to watch the person's reaction, not only before but during, and then the after. It was like, did I do good? Did I answer all your questions? And it was an amazing process. And I do know that's being used more and more within law enforcement these days as well. So, any last words that you want to share out that you haven't spoken yet?
No, I don't think so. Really, just trying to, again, like, remove that kind of stigma. You know, if you've been considering hypnotherapy, or if you're trying, often it tends to be a last resort for people. So they think, you know, I've been trying to lose weight for years, or I've been, you know, nervous about public speaking for years, and it could be that thing that's holding you back. And often it's like the hypnotherapy is the last resort, the last thing, you know, last chance saloon kind of thing. But it absolutely, I mean, don't leave it till then. You need to start living the life that you deserve to live now, and kind of get out of your own way.
Let me ask a question, because it just popped in my head. Is this very beneficial for people who have phobias? And I don't mean just mild phobias. I mean severe phobias.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, phobia is essentially an emotional response that's anchored on to an object, or you know, if it's spiders, to a being. And it could be, sometimes a phobia can be created just by something happens that's traumatic, but it happens to happen while you're looking at an object. That's why you get people with like button phobias and things like that. So the emotional response is just anchored on to that object. So every time you see that object, it creates this emotional response, because the non-conscious mind acts for two reasons only, and that is to give you pleasure, which is why people end up with addictions and habits and things like that, and also to keep you safe, to protect you. So anytime it sees this object that's gonna, you know, that it perceives as dangerous, it's going to create this emotional response so that you don't go near that object, and that can absolutely be undone.
Which another term for that is panic attack, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so if anybody's interested, you mentioned in the beginning that you now are able to do this live. You could do this virtually. How do they get a hold of you?
I've got a Facebook page. I've got LinkedIn. It's under Cornwall Hypnotherapist. Yeah, you can contact me through Instagram. It's at Cornwall Hypnotherapist. Facebook, LinkedIn. You can email me on daisy@cornwallhypnotherapist.co.uk, and you can call me on 077 231 22365.
It never ceases to amaze me how long the UK phone numbers are.
Really?
Yeah, ours are only 10 digits. I mean, it's just like this. Yours is like 12, 14 digits. But yeah, okay, Daisy, thank you so much. This has been highly entertaining, highly enlightening. I think it's something, as you said, earlier that this is just, it's not just for the last minute. I mean, if you have any particular issue that you're dealing with, it's better to take care of them now than to wait until they get bigger, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you deserve better than to be avoiding situations or we deserve to be living the life that we dream of, and it can be these things that are stopping us.
Fantastic. This has just been so wonderful, folks. Seriously, if you even if you just think about it, reach out to Daisy. Just have a simple little chat. There's no commitment. She can answer all your questions, and I do highly recommend that you do step out of that box a little bit and give her a ring and have that important opening chat. So, Daisy, thank you so much, my dear, for agreeing to be here.
Thank you.
It's lovely to have
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, well, you're more than welcome. All right, everybody. I think I'm out of questions. Believe it or not, anybody who knows me, I'm a prolific talker. So I'm out of questions. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Loves and hugs to everybody. Thank you for watching and catching the replay. And I'm going to put a plug in here at the last moment. If you have a small business, any legal business, I don't care what genre it is, and you would like to be interviewed, get a hold of me. You can find me on Facebook at Goosebump Moments by BJ. You can get a hold of me on LinkedIn and just message me. Give me a shout. Let's see what we can do to get you here as a guest. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good evening. Good afternoon.